All right, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to safety wire. Now, if you're unfamiliar with safety wire, basically what it is just you're just using a stainless steel wire to lock a fastener in place so that it doesn't loosen. Now, I'm not real sure where it originated from, but if I had to guess, I would say the aviation industry. As far as the automotive side of things, you may have seen it, like say on a vintage race car, like a Shelby Cobra or something that's got, say, a knockoff set of wheels where it's just got one centered lug nut. You may see a wire coming off that. If you ever wondered what that is, safety wire. That's to keep that nut from flying off, from loosening up. Also, you may have seen it on header bolts. But today I'm going to be showing you with a brake rotor. This is from Wilwood. This is a two-piece rotor where the hat and the rotor bolt together. These bolts, I don't know if you can see, come with, hang on, they come with holes. There we go. Okay, there's a hole. I know it's kind of out of focus. Okay, there we go. So there's a hole. There's 4 of them. There's one every 90 degrees. Now, I'm gonna tell you why that is in just a minute. I'll show you with the diagram. All right, here's our safety wire. I'm gonna have to put on my cheater so I can see. And we use the 2 holes that are 180 degrees apart, okay? So you're just gonna slide the safety wire through like that. This wire is 032 as 0.032 or 32 thousandths. They make different sizes, but honestly, for the applications that we've needed it, 032 has been sufficient. So I don't know in what areas you would use a thicker wire or a thinner wire, but it's been adequate for what we've needed it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wire 2 bolts together at a time. I could do more. I could link 3 or 4. Or I could link all of them together, but it's just easier just to do 2, and that's sufficient. I mean, if you got 2 bolts wired together, they're not going to loosen up. All right, now to figure out how much I need, I'm going to measure, and these bolts are roughly 2 1/4 apart. So I'm just going to say 2 inches, and I'm going to multiply that by 5. That gives me 10. So I'm going to take my safety wire and I'm going to cut off 10 inches of wire. All right, let's look at this diagram, and then I'm going to start feeding the wire through. All right, here's just a quick diagram to show you what I'm talking about. Now, these are supposed to be bolt heads, okay? Forgive my crude drawings. And these little marks, those represent the holes, okay? So, since we're going to be safety wiring from this bolt head to this bolt head, we want to pick the pair of holes that are perpendicular to that. So, we'd run our wire through here. This is hard to hold my phone and draw at the same time. And then bring this way. Then loop this wire around like this. These will be twisted together. Then you feed the one wire through here, the other one would loop around, then you twist those together and fold. Okay, that way, if a bolt is tight, it's only going to go one way, and that's to loosen, and lefty loosey. So the bolt, try to go this way, try to loosen, and the wire catches it, holds it in place. That's how it works. Do not go in a straight line. Do not do that. That's wrong. Now, sometimes this is not always the case. More than likely, it's never the case. It's usually something closer to this, where the holes aren't exactly perpendicular to the direction of the wire. in that case, what I would do is, I mean, really you could probably do either one, but it just makes me feel better to go over to here and run my wire through this way and then come back and then loop around. Same thing. The reason is I just feel like that the most amount of slack has been taken out of the wire. If it's running this way, I just feel like it may have a little bit of slack and have the ability to move. May not. I mean, even if it does move, it's not going to go far. But I'm just showing you how I do it. All right. All right, so what we're going to do is we'll feed our wire through. Okay. All right, we're going to feed our wire through, and then we'll bend one side over like that, and then we'll take the other one, and we're going to loop around the head of the bolt. There, like that, okay? And then we'll take our safety wire pliers. What these do is this is a locking mechanism. Push down, that locks it in place, and then you pull this out, and it causes the pliers to spin. So and now I've got it locked in place. I'm holding the bolt, and I pull. And this is what it looks like. All right. Okay, now I'm going to start feeding the wire through. Now, there's not a whole lot of room in these brake rotors. So I get it started, I get it in there, get a pair of needle nose, grab a hold of it, and just start feeding it through. Okay, once I get about to the halfway point, I just want that wire to have a hard 90 degree bend there, be up tight against the bolt. Okay, now we're going to loop this one around. Okay, now I've got my wires run together, and I'm going to come just past this bolt here, just past it. And I'm going to connect, and I'm going to grab a hold of them with the pliers. I'm going to lock them in place. And then twist. And release. Okay, now I'm going to feed one of the wires through the hole, and again, not a lot of room. Using my wire plier, using my needle nose, gonna feed this through. Okay, I've got one wire fed through. Now I'm going to take the other and loop it around the head, just like we did on the first one. Now I'm going to take these two. I'm going to connect the pliers. I'm going to rotate this. Let's see. There. Rotate this around so you can see. Now, as I spin these pliers, I'm going to kind of hold down on this loop. You may not be able to see because I don't want it popping up over the head of the bolt. Okay, release. Now, we need to cut some of that off, just a little bit. Don't need near that long. Take our needle nose, fold that around. There. Now, we've got two bolts that are safety wired together. There. So here's the finished product. All right, well, that's it. Not a big deal. It's just time consuming. Yeah, right now I've got about an hour and 15 minutes and just doing these 12 bolts. So anyway, it would go quicker if there was more room. But as you saw, it's really tight clearance in between the rotor and the bolts. So anyway, I hope you got something from this. Hope you learned something. Don't forget to subscribe. Also, haven't been posting a lot. It's not that I don't want to or have forgotten about the channel. Right now work is just work's really crazy. We've got a hard deadline we've got to meet, and so right now all my time is going toward that. But hopefully here in the next 6 weeks I'll be able to start posting more often. All right, man, see you in the next one.